What up, peoples? Welcome to the Alyork Sports Show. Salute to the East Coast, West Coast. Vegas strong, Vegas nice, Vegas Raiders, Bronx Bombers. LES to the death. Enough said. Before I start this off, man, super duper shout out to my man Mel Stottlemyre of the New York Yankees. Passed away today. That's why I got my NY shit on. I'm saluting Mel Stottlemyre, the Bronx Bombers. Yankee Nation, stand the fuck up. Y'all already know what it is, man. Now to the Alyork Sports Show, man. So much to do in so little time. So let me get at it, man. We're going to start in the divisional games over the weekend, right? The whole video is going to be about the football shit because it's just too much to do, man. We're going to go to Arrowhead Stadium. In Arrowhead Stadium, where the 10-6 Indianapolis Colts played the 12-4 Kansas City Chiefs. A lot of money came in on the Colts. That line moved from 5.5 to 4.5. That's why I didn't give a sigh on that game. If y'all noticed that, I gave over first half. If the line dropped from 28, which it did, it dropped to 26. Chicken Vegas insiders, if you think I'm lying, I'll tell you first half 26. So that came in. And I also like Pat Mahomes over. That didn't come in. So that went 1-1. But the moral of the story was a lot of us thought the Colts were showing up, including myself. And, I mean, it was ugly, man. The Chiefs went up immediately. 14-0 in the first quarter, 24-7 at the half. And the only reason why Colts got any type of points was on that block punt that they ran in for a touchdown. If not, the 31st ranked defense would have pitched a shutout in the first half. And then they only gave up 6 points for the game. So it's just crazy how this works. You got the worst defense in the NFL that give up 6 points to one of the best offenses in the last 6-7 games, where the Colts been averaging 28 plus per game. And they shut them down. It just looked like Andrew Luck's foot was in quicksand the whole game. I mean, it was a bad performance, horrible performance, great performance by the Kansas City Chiefs. Great performance by Damian Williams that ran, for 129 yards. They didn't need Kareem Hunt, which I thought, Kareem Hunt, I think is going to affect them eventually in trying to win the Super Bowl. Because if they win without him, then that's a hell of a task for Andy Reid and company. But let me give y'all some numbers before I move into the next game. Andrew Luck went 19 for 36, 203 yards, 1 touchdown. A lot of them yards came real late when they were playing prevent defense. Horrible performance by a guy that I like a lot of Andrew Luck. Marion Mack ran for 9 rushes for 46 yards. T.Y. Hilton, 4 catches, 60 yards. Hilton had a bum ankle. Salute just for showing up in the game, because Hilton was not 100%. Because if he was, he would have had his 80-plus yards. That's just how Hilton does. And that's for the Kansas City Chiefs, led by Showtime, Pat Mahomes, 27 for 41, 278. He would have went way over 300 yards if it was a close game or if the Chiefs were down. But the fact that they was up a lot the whole game, they ran, just like I knew that would happen if it got to that point. Damian Williams, 25 rushes, 129 yards. And Travis Kelce, the best tight end in the game in my book right now. 7 catches for 108 yards. No Kareem Hunt. Salute to the Kansas City Chiefs. Salute to Andy Reid in their first win in 7 attempts. Their last 7 attempts in the playoffs. Salute to the Chiefs. Let me move on to game 2. Memorial Coliseum in California, where the 10-6 Dallas Cowboys played the 13-3 LA Rams. Like I told you on my video, the Rams was just too explosive for the Cowboys. Cowboys hung in. They almost covered the spread. The spread was 7.5. Rams won by 8. But if you've seen the game, Dallas got a late touchdown to get that down to 8. So that's what that was about. First quarter, Cowboys was up 7-3. They actually won the first quarter. The Rams outscored them 17-0 in the second quarter. Went up 20-7 at half. It was a good game, but the score kind of showed you otherwise. It looked like Cowboys were playing good enough to win, but it seemed like the Rams always had like a 10-plus lead on them throughout the game until the end when the Cowboys punched that in and got down 8 points. But tremendous performance by Todd Gurley. Let me go through the numbers right now. Let me start with the Dallas Cowboys. Dak Prescott, 20 for 32, 266. 1 touchdown. I had him over 248.5. That's a bet I didn't give to y'all, but I had him on a prop bet. Ezekiel Elliott, 20 rushes for 47 yards, 1 touchdown. And Michael Gallup, 6 receptions for 119 yards. Great game for the young guy Gallup. I mean, we need Gallup. We need people like that to step up, help Amari Cooper and company. As for the Los Angeles Rams, Jared Goff, 15 for 28, 186. He didn't really have to throw the ball. They had a lead, and they just pounded the rock, which was very successful. C.J. Anderson, that's right, the reborn C.J. Anderson, 23 rushes, 123 yards, 2 touchdowns. Todd Gurley, 16 rushes, 115 yards, 1 touchdown. Robert Woods, 6 receptions, 69 yards. Rams won 30-22, but the score don't indicate the game. Rams should have won at least by 10-plus points. They won by 8. They were the better team, the stronger team. And McVay, who's a great young coach, was not going to let the Rams lose 2 straight home games back-to-back. And if he's considered one of the greatest coaches, you can't go 0-2 to start your career in the playoffs. So salute to the Rams and McVay. Let's go to Game 3. We're going to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts with 11-5. New England Patriots play the 12-4 Los Angeles Chargers. Now, this game, I gave out the Chargers at +4. I had them on a 10-point teaser, +14. Doesn't matter. It lost. My teaser won, but I don't want no credit. I gave it out +4 in the video. They fucking didn't show up. I'm very disappointed. I can't say I Phillip Rivers because if you look at his numbers, he put up numbers. I'm disappointed at the coaching staff by not having these guys ready. And I'm super impressed with Belichick and Brady. Tom Brady for president. I keep telling y'all that, man. He's one of the oldest quarterbacks, or the oldest quarterback. Tom Brady went in there and chopped these guys the fuck up. All that lightning bolt, great defense, Ingram, Bosa, James. Where the fuck your niggas was at? I don't want to hear nothing about you have to fly from the West Coast to the East Coast. Listen, this is playoffs, man. You got 6 days to get right. 3 days to get right, whatever it is. That ain't no excuse to me, man. This is playoffs where you let it hang out. Patriots went up 7-0. Chargers came and counted 7-7. And then the Patriots scored 28 unanswered points, which is unexplainable. No excuses for the Chargers. Very bad performance, especially for a team, Phillip Rivers and company, that never won a chip. Never got Phillips to a chip. And this is the kind of performance y'all put up that y'all had to make the game close late when New England was playing like a prevent type of defense. The Patriots dominated them in every aspect of the game. And I gave out the Chargers, and I'm ashamed that I gave out the Chargers, me knowing how Belichick and them prepared for a game like this. But I just thought it was the Chargers' year to make it to the Super Bowl. You know, especially after the Baltimore Ravens lost my first pick. I just thought it was going to be a dark horse coming out the American Conference. But you know what? I was wrong. I was wrong. I was severely wrong because the Patriots whooped their ass. Let me give you some numbers. Phillip Rivers, 25 for 51, 331, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. A lot of that came late when it didn't matter. Gordon, 9 rushes, 15 yards, 1 touchdown. That's unacceptable. And Tyrell Williams had 5 receptions for 94 yards, 1 touchdown. Good game for the rookie Tyrell. Now for the Patriots, Brady, 34 for 44, 349, 1 touchdown. Could have had a lot of more yards. Fourth quarter, they ran the ball a lot. Sonny Michel. Now this is big. A lot of people thought he was a bust coming out for the regular season. Sonny Michel's kicked ass from 7th game on. And he got injured there a few games, but he kicked ass. He's showing that he was a great pickup. 24 rushes, 129 yards. Julian Edelman had 9 receptions for 151. And James White had 15 receptions, which is a team record for a playoff game. Salute to the Patriots. 41-28 victory. Salute to Bill Belichick and Tom Brady for president. Now, last game, last but not least, so much to do in so little time. We going to the Superdome. That's right, in New Orleans. The Superdome, baby, the Mercedes Superdome. Great game between the Philadelphia Eagles and the New Orleans Saints. The Eagles were 9-7 going in, but one of the hottest teams in the last 5 games against the 13-3 Saints. The Eagles did everything they possibly could. They came out the game smoking. First pass, New Orleans tried to catch him off guard. Go deep, was picked. About the 24, 30-yard line, Nick Foles took him downfield, 7-zip Eagles. 3 and out for the Saints, punted. Foles took him right down, 14-zip Eagles. I was nervous. I gave out the Saints. I had the Saints on a big bet. I was like, damn, don't tell me this is going to happen. And what really made me nervous is that if you follow all the games all the favorites covered in every game, which kind of told me the bet was the Eagles, like the +8. Like I did mention in the video, if I had a gun in my head, I'd take the Eagles +8, but I bring New Orleans down to -1. It's all in the video. You can look at the video, my last video I did. So it happened just like that. The Eagles covered the 8, but New Orleans won -1. They won by 6. But it was a tough 4 game. Peterson had his boys prepared. What changed the game changer was when Eagles had the ball, I think at midfield, and they could have punched it in, made 21-zip or hit a field goal, 17-zip. Marshawn Lattimore, coming out of Ohio State, made a huge pick. That pick changed the whole momentum of the game, because after that pick, the Eagles never scored another point. That kind of got the engine running for the 2-week off Saints that had 2 weeks off, because the last game of the season they didn't play. They took out all the starters. Then they had a week off. So when you really think about it, they had mad time off. That's why it took them a little while. And that's why I was kind of scared of them, using that kind of tactic. Sean Payne should have played them that last game. You got to play them that last game. But it was a great game. It was 20-14 final. The Saints prevailed. Who that nation? Salute to my man Elvis. And y'all know I told y'all in week 8, take the Saints to win it all. First 2 weeks of the season, I had the Saints. They lost me a ticket, and I barely won the second ticket. And I was like, these guys suck. They struggled in home games, but by week 8, they got it together. My man Elvis kept pumping that blood into me, that Kool-Aid. And I said it. I said in week 8, Saints is the pick to win it all. I feel like it's Drew Brees' season. I feel like he's going to get the MVP. I think everything's going to fall under him unless they go to the Super Bowl and the whole world takes the Saints. Then, money can change everything I'm saying right now. I'm hoping that don't happen. I'm hoping they get to the Super Bowl and the pot is 50-50 on both sides and let it be a fair shake. And I think a fair shake, the Saints win. But if all the money's on the Saints, things can happen. And let me give y'all some statistics. Nick Foles, 18 for 31, 201, 1 pick, 2 touchdowns. His worst game in the last 7 games. Picked a bad time to have his worst game, though he started off great. He started off great, ended horrible. Wendell Smallwood didn't have a good game. 5 rushes, 63 yards. And Alshon Jeffries had 5 receptions for 63 yards. And it was a bad offensive performance. I mean, they started out severely good, ended up bad. Now, for Drew Brees and company, 28 for 38 for Brees, 301 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Brees lit it up. Alvin Kamara, 16 rushes, 71 yards. And Michael Thomas, the best receiver in the game right now, even better than Antonio Brown. I'm saying it. Michael Thomas is that dude. 12 receptions, 171 yards, 1 touchdown. And New Orleans Saints, who that nation? Voodoo won 20-14. Saints to win it all. That's my pick to win it all. This the Alyork Sports Show, y'all. Thank you guys for tuning in. I love y'all. Rest in peace. Shout out to Mel Stottlemyre. Salute to the Bronx Bombers. Continue to turn in, yo. This Friday, I'm going to give y'all the conference finals, predictions, etc. Make sure you tune in, because I'm going to turn it up on Friday. All right? Alyork Sports, I love y'all. Continue to tune in. Keep your heads up, y'all. Salute Alyork Sports, baby.